Teach Me Grappling. What's up, guys? Brian Peterson here. I've got Trent Munoz. When you see Trent Munoz, you know he's the wrestler. So we're gonna be doing some wrestling, but guess what? First, I'm gonna show you some jiu-jitsu, and then I'm gonna talk about how I've been trying to bring more jiu-jitsu into wrestling. Really quick, a lot of people say that you can bring your wrestling into jiu-jitsu. Like, for example, jiu-jitsu is mostly ground techniques. And the wrestlers are able to bring their takedown abilities and use a lot of that in jiu-jitsu. But they always say that it's really hard to use jiu-jitsu in wrestling. You know, wrestling, I always say, is a little more defined grappling style. You know, jiu-jitsu is a little bit more broad. You're allowed to submit people. That in itself makes it much more wide, with a wide range of things to do. Wrestling is more confined. You're taking people down and you're trying to control them and pin them. So in jiu-jitsu, you got to take them down, control them. Pinning them doesn't finish. You got to submit them. So anyway, the argument still stands quite a bit, but I would like to try to attack this statement that everyone makes, and I want to show you how you can bring jiu-jitsu into wrestling. So specifically in folk style. So let's show you the reverse omoplata. So in jiu-jitsu, we have a person in the turtle position. He's in the hands and knees. Okay, what I'm going to do, why don't you come around on this side? Okay, see the arm is here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to encircle my leg around that arm. Once I have that arm encircled, now what I'm going to do traditionally in most jiu-jitsu scenarios, because most guys are turtling with their head down, okay, I'm going to take my right hand, go in between my leg and his head, right down that little path. I look towards my left, okay, and I'm going to execute a right shoulder roll, okay, very slow so I don't hurt my partner. As I do that, no, Trent, don't roll. As I do that, I hold this leg, and then what happens is this starts to kimura his arm, which makes him do a roll. Right now, Trent is choosing to roll over that shoulder. Usually it's the other one, but it doesn't really matter. You see that? Yep. And then once I land like this. I have the leg. Again, there's different ways to finish. You see how I have this? I switch arms, and then I take my right hand and I post on this side. It could be here. I prefer here if I can, but it's not critical. And then now watch the submission. Look right here, look at his arm. He cannot straighten out his arm. I'm not allowing it. I'm gonna lift my butt, and then I'm gonna pull his wrist back, just like a kimura. And man, Trent, yeah, there you go. And then you break his arm. Notice my right hand's here to prevent him from doing a sit-up, which makes his shoulder feel great. See, now there's no stress on his shoulder. The more I pin him down with this, the more he's kind of locked. Even this could be a pin right here as he tries to move. Okay, it's really hard for him to get out because of his shoulder. Okay, all right, so that's the reverse omoplata from jiu-jitsu. Now, how do we use this, Trent? This position occurs in wrestling too. So this is something that, again, some of you guys that are jiu-jitsu guys, you may not know this. There are two famous wrestlers. One of them is Nashon Garrett, and the other one is, oh my gosh, Illinois. Help me out. Oh my gosh, I forgot. It's gonna come to me in a second.
Zay Martinez?
No, before. Come on, man. This is terrible. I'm blowing it. Good. Just kidding. I'm gonna get it in a second. Jesse Delgado, Nashon Garrett. In the national finals, Jesse Delgado was the funk roll master. Okay, he would execute an abyss roll or funk roll or leg pass, and he defeated Nashon Garrett. And he also, the year before that, beat Megaludis from Penn State. So using the funk roll. So the funk roll is a common thing in the wrestling world. If Trent's doing a double leg to me, you don't have to count on me. I'm gonna drop and I'm gonna pull, just straighten out your legs so you don't get hurt. I'm gonna come over to this side. Once we end up here, the guys will build up and then come out the back door. We have videos on this already. There's always gonna be variation. There's a lot of counters that people have. There's lots of good stuff out there. One thing you're probably not gonna see is what I'm gonna show, which is Guess what? The reverse omoplata. Taking a jiu-jitsu move and bringing it into folk style wrestling and trying to keep it legal. Okay? So here's the situation. I end up hitting a shot on Trent. I move him. I take a shot, and then he rolls right into the funk roll. Now, when you guys end up here, it becomes a problem, because if you just try to control the legs right here, like I can try to control Trent's legs so Trent can't get up, like try to get up, Trent. And you know, we're both kind of stalemated right now. And this all happens quite a bit. Or the guy will build up, and then you'll end up in these positions here where one guy's trying to turn and the other guy's trying to create a scramble where they just kind of get here, and then now I'm leg passing, you know, and we're just tied up in a knot in a wrestling match, and neither wrestler can improve. Now, college wrestling has the danger rule where if one guy's on his back, it's going to be a takedown. It's going to be a point. In high school, we could just do this all day until it's considered a stalemate and the referee stands it up. We have to solve this problem. Remember, this is not the only way, but I want you guys to take a look. I hit the move. Boom, I come in, he goes funk. When he goes funk, I backstep. If I backstep and he makes it to his knees, it's not that easy to win this position. If he has this leg controlled, sometimes I can sprawl. Sometimes I can go here, like crossface, or just pulse the head, whatever. And then over here, grab the butt and just like kind of get my hips going. If I can separate, I can go behind. If I can do that. But when Trent knows that I'm gonna get a takedown if I get that leg back, he just has to hold it until it's a stalemate. Okay? He also may even like step over my leg sometimes. And then again, it creates these issues, go turn, you know, where now I have a position, but in order for me to get the Merkle position, to get the control or to be here, I now have to worry about, if I put my arm here, Trent, you might have Peterson's. Like, all of this gets crazy, you know. It has its issues. It's not that easy. So I'm sorry, I'm really getting long on this, but here we go. He goes funk. I backstep. Now, once I'm here and I'm having this problem, watch what I do. I'm not gonna shoulder roll and rip his shoulder off. Most wrestlers anyway, if Trent could, if I put my weight on him like this, Trent is gonna pulse his hand and lift and put me back. He's got a Peterson. See that? So I don't wanna give him a chance to lift. Right now, if you look at this, I'm sitting on his arm and I close my knees kind of tight. Like, I don't have to be triangled. I just sit on it, make it kind of tight, so it's not that easy to take it out, okay? And then the first thing I do is nothing over here with my arm. I pulse his head and reverse, what I call reverse crossface. I put my elbow on this side, much like I'm going to do the shoulder roll, but I'm not gonna do that, okay? All I'm gonna do is reverse crossface and attack this far arm, this one, okay? I take this arm out, and then all I'm going to do, whether I have here or I have the wrist, I'm basically gonna make a rotation like this, and this tweaks the shoulder a little bit, it does, and I'm gonna roll Trent over towards his back, okay, like this. See it? Now, once I'm here, I can hold like this, I could post, it doesn't really matter. At this point, I've got the pin position. I am not hurting him, I am not submitting him. His arm is not necessarily potentially dangerous yet. Most referees probably wouldn't even know what to say right here. They probably wouldn't even notice it. And if they do notice it, you're not trying to break his shoulder. Once you get to here, I'm gonna control the leg, and then I can even let the arm out. You can take the arm out, and then come up on top and try to look for the pin. Okay, if he escapes, no big deal. We just got our takedown using a little bit of jiu-jitsu, okay? So one more time, let me show it, and then I'm gonna have the boys, they're starting to drill it. I'm gonna let you guys watch how they drill. So again, I'm here, I give him a pulse, boom. He goes, catches me, I'm like, whoop. I step back, watch it again. as Trent's trying to raise his head and lift and take me down, I go here and I'm controlling. I can push, break him down this way. Sorry about that, Trent. I know that's rough. Or if he pushes, if I go here and he's driving towards me to try to take me down, see how I sit him through. As you guys sit him through, his arm is stuck. Look, nothing wrong with this position. It's nothing dangerous. I'm just holding his arm. It looks weird to every wrestler out there. Try to move, Trent. It looks really funny, right? I could like theoretically hold him right here and I have a position, I have control. Now, some people might say this is dangerous on the arm. If they're gonna start calling you guys for that, I just say grab the leg and let it up. Straighten out the leg and let his arm out. Now as he moves, I'll hip touch and I have control. I'll look for the pin, okay? So here, let me grab the camera and I'm gonna let these boys practice. So, this is how they drill. Boom, right in the front roll. He back steps, reverse crossface, turn, sit him through. Simple, just going straight into it. Notice they didn't even control the arm. On my jiu-jitsu brain, I want to control that arm and really kind of hurt him a little bit. Just a little. Okay? And take him through. I'll try to get some different angles so you guys can see. Again, this is for folk style wrestling, guys. I know we have a lot of submission-minded people on the channel, but for those that know wrestling or maybe they're wrestlers, okay? See that? And then you see how his legs just switched right there. And if you guys can do the next one, get into that same position where you get to the turtle and then stop, go through it. Remember, if a guy tries to limp arm, let's go over that scenario. If the guy tries to limp arm, like right here, Trent on the bottom, he would be trying to pull his arm out. If he pulls that arm out, Alex just runs behind. So go back inside the position. So we have to be aware, we don't want him to once we maneuver, pulse his head and then reverse crossface. We don't want to not pay attention to what's going on. We can't let him sneak out behind us. The way like that, that's one of the issues. So it's very important you guys understand. Lift your head up a little bit, guys. The way the arm is controlled, it's so controlled that, keep it tight, Alex. Try to limp arm, Trent. It's really hard, right? And then apply the force, Alex. You see that? Now it's really hard. Now go ahead, just kind of sit and trip him over. Nice. Last thing we have to discuss, that way we wrap this up into one video, is the banana split position, the leg ride. So let's have Trent hit the position. He funk rolls you. So remember, we don't want Alex to put in a far hook. If Alex can go in and put in a far hook, he will have a banana split. See that? Now he fully has control. So now rewind the video. Look at this. He has the leg. It's very important that when Trent goes to reverse crossface and Alex tries to circle around, that it's very important that he makes the rotation. You can't sit there, right? Go back to the position one more time, Trent. You can't sit in one spot and just let Alex walk right around and throw a hook in, right? You can't allow that. If he's there, you're keeping that space tight and you're rotating. If he tries, you rotate and trip him and take him through. Sweet. Man, you guys do it great. Couldn't have done it any better. Thank you, boys. Appreciate you. Okay, Alex, not a bad performance, freshman. Well, I guess sophomore now. Sophomore. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Teach Me Grappling. Again, I do believe, guys, in the statement that mostly wrestling works, for jiu-jitsu. It's rare to see a lot of jiu-jitsu techniques that work in wrestling. But remember, don't be closed-minded. There's always a way to evolve if you keep practicing. If you practice and you constantly striving for new positions, for ways to score, you're gonna find a few things. I just said in one of my last videos, it's all been done before. It's a common saying. Having said that, it hasn't all been done before, guys. Most things have been done before, but not everything. Otherwise, we are stagnant and we don't evolve and we don't get better. We want to make sure we're always trying to improve our grappling styles and make them better. Okay, there's new techniques coming out every year. It's just really, it's hard to find some of these things. And I've got more. I've got another jiu-jitsu move I'll show some other time for folk style wrestling that we can use to score some back points. So thank you guys so much. I know I'm long-winded. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really want to help people out there. Folk style wrestlers out there, please try this technique. It may or may not work for you, but unless you practice it diligently for a long period of time, you won't know. So get out there and practice and try it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time with more great stuff.